to another episode of DBTV, and as you can see, we're on the way to Vaucluse Car Club. It's a beautiful morning here in Sydney, Australia. We've got a few nice cars, Huracan, FA. So yeah, let's check out the rest of the cars on the show. There's around 170 cars, and don't forget to like and subscribe. So here we go. Good. Yep. Just hang it right. Yep. Oh, you can capture that, make it. How are you? Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Came out all for the show. What car did you come in here with?
I just brought the Porsche Monte. I'm trying to be under the radar.
Look at this. Yalla Habibi. He's got a big collection, this Tony guy.
What's VCC?
VCC. The Vaucluse Car Club, brother. Did you bring your passport?
I live here. I live down on Whittam Road.
Tony's got a sick collection. You gotta take us in the 8-second twin turbo Huracan, yeah?
Yeah, done.
Done. and the GTRs.
Yeah, done. I'll come past Double Bay. I live up the road anyway, so it's around the corner.
Tony, Uncle Tony.
What's your favourite car here?
What's my favourite car? Because 812 GTS, because it's turbo, cuzzy. All right, so here we are at Vaucluse Car Club, which people know as VCC, 170 cars. So what did I bring? We brought the McLaren 765 LT Spider, and then we brought the Novatec 812 GTS with the N-Largo kit. So let's check out some of the other cars here at the show. Obviously, we've got our good friends here from the Lee Collection bringing with the Speed Legend. So you would have seen this car at Alfa Royale. We had a quick drive in it, so you'd seen the video of us driving the Speed Legend around the city. And then the Lee Collection also brought out the tailor-made 812 GTS. So here we are with the infamous Luke O'Neill, aka the Australian Stig, aka he just thrashes everybody's cars on track.
Mainly yours, mate.
So we're here with his beautiful Ferrari. So tell us more about what you've done.
It's a 1987 328 GTS. It's got a great story. This is the car that got me into cars because this is the car that Magnum PI drove.
Yeah.
He started in the first series in a 308. This is a 328, but he ended up driving a 328 and my dad bought me a book on Ferraris and the centerfold picture was of a 328. So the guy that owned this before me is one of my clients and mentors when I moved to Sydney, and so it was a wonderful thing that he proposed to sell me the car, and it was his first Ferrari, so he was never going to sell it until he decided.
So it's Australian delivered?
Aussie delivered, one owner. Great nick. It's it's really interesting. The cars that we drive, these modern cars, Nico, they're always at you. That's go fast, go fast, go fast. This era of Ferrari is really different.
Just the emotional connection, right?
They're not fast.
Yeah.
They don't scream. They don't yell. They're just a beautiful looking car that you just cruise around in.
So what engine is in the 328?
3.2 litre V8.
Yeah. So you've done everything is original?
Everything's original.
Unlike me.
Unlike you, who chops up cars and puts body kits on them.
How many kilometres you got on this now?
It's about 50,000.
50,000.
Yeah.
I actually haven't driven something like. Maybe we should go for a drive. Northern beaches.
When you used to drive past me along Manly, mate, I'd love you to have a drive. It's so completely different from the stuff that you're used to driving. So it's a really cool experience.
But you'll be seeing a lot more of Luke because every time we go on track, we're always with Luke O'Neill and his long group. Track days. Yeah. So, thanks, Luke.
I look forward to drifting more of your cars, mate.
Uncle AJ. Here with VCC, yeah. Say hi to DBTV. Say hi. Hi. So yeah, VCC is a family-friendly, like, cars and coffee style event. Yeah, and it's the first time that my daughter's come to this event. She's more interested in the sunnies. We're here with infamous Pastor 2 and his Ferrari 430 Scud. It's got the very unique plates, 9999959s. Tell me you're Asian without telling me. Anyway, we're looking forward to Mr. 2 letting us drive his 430 Scud. It's got a beautiful Klein exhaust. And then next to that, he's got his 458 Spider. I think this one's still stock, so it should still sound good, but probably not as good as the 430 Scud here. Don't touch, don't touch, don't touch. Don't touch. You can touch this car. Oh yeah, shiny red. So here we have a Ferrari F8 Spider. What's, gained the interest for me is, if you notice it, the color is the Viola Hong Kong. It's probably one of my favorite colors. It goes from the black to purple, but yeah, as you guys know, it's a bit of my jam to go for that type of color that goes from black to purple. I think it's, yeah, one of my favorites from Ferrari. You and Cameron, what do you do for a living?
How are we?
Good, good. Who'd you come here with? Here we have new Ferrari SF90 Spider. I don't think it's tailor-made, but it's got a beautiful stripe in it. The gentleman's actually got a big car collection. So again, it's good to see that people bringing out, beautiful cars such as the SF90. So here we have, a modern classic in the Mercedes-AMG SLS Coupe with the gull-wing doors. Again, I think it's one of my favorite cars, even though I've actually never driven one. But I'd actually prefer the Roadster over the Coupe, actually. I don't know, a lot of people like the gull-wing doors. It is I think, novelty, collectability, but I think if you were driving it on a daily, I'd actually prefer the Roadster with putting the roof down and standard doors. So we're just coming past to some of the cars that Platinum One and Heisman's brought along. So we saw this last week at Alfa Royale with the BMW M4 CSL. It's a limited edition car. It's got the special paint and the carbon bonnet. It's Tony.
G'day.
It's Tony, you live in Vaucluse, don't you?
Yeah, Widham Road.
Yeah. Where are you going, Cuzzy?
Back home.
Back home? Just down the road?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on the yacht and go for
See ya. Then next to that, they brought the Porsche GT2 RS. What do you do for a living?
drug dealer.
And then Heisman's have brought out this new Ferrari Roma with the HRE wheels. Actually, I haven't driven a Roma, so probably the guys at Heisman's can let me go for a drive and see what it's like to drive on a daily basis. So here we are with one of Sydney's newest McLaren 765 LT Spider. This one's been, spec'd with MSO. It's supposed to be dragon green with the gold wheels and the yellow accents in the interior. Especially under the sun, you can really see the green pop. But it's cool to see unique specs. So VCC attracts a big variety of cars. So, previous VCCs, there was Countachs, so this year's one, there's another Countach. You got your classic Maserati, and then you got your really classic cars, which I know nothing about, but they look cool. And then we got 720 Coupe, I think it's Volcano Orange, the color. And then we've got this 488 Spider with the plates Boone. I wonder what's his name? Boone. R8 V10. Oh, this is a cool, I think this must be the 70th anniversary 488 with a unique paint. Obviously, plate says it all, an Audi V8 R8. Actually, we saw this car last year. It's a very cool Ferrari pista in this, with the blue with the gold wheels. Cool Corvette. Again, I think what we mentioned, we don't see many of these in Australia, and this one's already right-hand drive. It's kind of cool. Kind of reminds me a little bit like the NSX, so it's mid-engine, rear-engine, but the actual roof mechanism, the roof piece actually fits in nicely in the boot here. All right, so we're here with Matt and his beautiful AMG C63 wagon. Looks like you've done a few things to this. It's not stock.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Far from.
Yeah, so tell us what you've done to it.
So I bought the wagon stock in January 2020. I've called it the COVID mobile.
The COVID.
Mainly because I planned to
Como.
keep it stock, and then COVID happened and I had to spend the travel money.
Supercharged? Is it super?
No, twin turbo.
Twin.
So by turbo, I've upgraded the turbos to black boost. It's all titanium exhaust, water meth injection, all new aftermarket coolers, and then a lot of carbon fibre.
So how much power is it making?
Just over 1,000 Newton meters
Yeah.
and 750 at the wheels
Oh wow!
from a rear wheel drive.
And you just lowered it.
It's on, yeah, just H&R lowered.
Yeah.
So I've been tempted to go with the whole bags thing, but I like static.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then there's not many wagons around, is there?
No, so originally I was looking at an Audi RS4 wagon. I've
Yeah.
always loved wagons.
Yeah.
And then I saw one of these. I went, I like the sound of an AMG.
Yeah.
And I was just lucky enough to find one.
Yeah.
I think in this one, it's an edition 1. I think there's less than 20 in the country.
How fast do you think it'll go down a quarter mile? Have you tried?
I haven't tried, but I do want to do roll racing.
Yeah.
I expect with the power, if I could get the traction down, which I'd need to change the rear wheels,
Yeah.
I reckon I hopefully do 11s or something like.
You should get down in below 11s. You get into 10s
I
probably.
probably could. If I get the right wheels on
Yeah.
it and the setup, it's, I will get there one day
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Anyway, very cool. Thanks for sharing.
All right, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For those not familiar, but this is what the New South Wales Police Highway Patrol cars used to look like. I don't know, probably like in the mid 90s. Cool looking car. So we've got this Porsche 959, which is an 80s hypercar. When it was released, it was competing against the Ferrari F40. But we've got Jay here from Classic Floral Shop, who's got this car on display, who's going to be able to talk more about the car. So
Great, thanks, Nico.
Yeah.
The 959 program really began its life in the early 80s as a Group B project car. Group B racing, obviously sports car racing for the European circuit. Porsche had set out to dominate once again from their previous successes with the 911 ST and SR and the 2.7 litre Carrera RS. The car itself was, in its concept, a bit of a driving laboratory for Porsche to be able to add not only the supercar performance element to it, bring in a motorsport theme, but also add elements like all-wheel drive systems and that competitive nature. Launched in 1983 at the...
So it's actually before the F40 then?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, because F40 was in late 87, 88.
87, 88, yeah. For the Frankfurt Motor Show in Group B format.
And how many did they make?
So for the total of production here, with these cars, there'll be 292 examples only built.
Only 292.
Yeah.
So what engines in this?
So it's a 2.8 litre.
Oh, it's only 2.8?
Yeah, 2.8 litre sequential turbocharge, but with liquid-cooled cylinder heads.
Yeah.
So where up until the 996 generation cars were all air-cooled, this was the first car that stepped into that liquid cooling within its engine program, so the cylinder heads are liquid-cooled.
450 horse?
Yeah, just over that, and with overboost, probably closer to 485.
Right.
Yeah.
And in Australia, I think we only got a few.
Yeah, we would have 5 cars. Most of them in actual fact, all of them in private collections.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is our own group collection car.
Yeah.
And then there'd be another car here in New South Wales and a couple of cars in Victoria.
Probably Lindsay Fox.
That's right. Yeah. His car's probably the most well-known and the longest time spent in Australia.
Yeah. But what is the G stand for?
So, perhaps not to get too deep into it, but in essence for the American market, in order to keep the emissions program low, it created almost like a first gear off the line, which enabled them to slightly slip under the emissions control rather than starting in first gear. So G is kind of just like a get you going gear, and first gear is the main gear.
Oh, so like if you just want to slowly get off lights, you start off a G.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, never. It's the first time I've actually seen one in real life.
Yeah, it's interesting out here today, the amount of people that have said that. I suppose in my mind, this has always been a poster on the bedroom wall for me, but I can...
Thanks. If you know, you know.
You know. But yes, to be able to see it up front and close, and as I said, with such small numbers of cars in Australia.
So we've got something a little bit more modern here. We got the Porsche Turbo S exclusive. It was like limited to
500?
500. But in Australia, we got probably around 10, 15?
Yeah, it was just on 10, I think the number was. Yeah. So a pretty exclusive number.
So carbon bonnet. Is it the wheels are carbon?
No, the wheels aren't carbon, but carbon ceramic brakes.
Carbon ceramic brakes.
Yeah.
And then it only came in this colour.
Came in this colour and black.
Oh, in black?
Yeah.
But I think most of the people got it in this colour.
That's right, yeah. So the interesting thing about this car, and I suppose as the continuation from the 959, when Porsche developed their exclusive department, they launched it with a 959 for the Sultan of Brunei's car, which was in gold.
Oh, so that's where it started.
Yeah.
That's the.
So this car pays homage to that initial 959 exclusive car. Same colour combinations.
So thanks for showing us the cars. I think we've got to do a visit to Classic Product Shop.
That'd be great, yeah. And if you're in Melbourne as well, I'd love you to come and visit us at Dark too. Yeah.
That's the real candy shop.
It is, yeah.
Sydney, we try our best. We try our best. Dunnins is tough. Dunnins is tough to convince. Anyway, thanks very much.
Thanks so much, Nico.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
interesting
so much.
stories about even with this and also the 959.
Definitely.
Yeah. Excuse me, what do you do for a living?
I work for Nico.
Excuse me, what do you do for a living?
Work on your cars, I think. See you, Nico.
It's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise. Nice car, Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Oh, what's it? From Wish.
Excuse me, what do you do for a living?
Not much.
Excuse me, Kazu, what do you do for a living?
Mate, I've got a TV show on YouTube called DBTV.
Oh, hectic, Kazu. Can you do a heli when you leave? Here we are with Josh with his Monster HSV with the plate says it all, Grinch. So tell us more about your car.
Well, it started life as a 6.2 litre V8 LS3. It's a black clubby underneath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's a wrap. That's a Hexus satin chrome green.
Yep.
Took me 3 years to build it, so it's a fully built 416 cubic inch, so 6.8 litre.
So how much power is it making now?
980 real horsepower.
980?
Yeah.
All right, just short of 1,000.
Yeah, so got a bit more boost in the Charger to play with. So it's rated 27 £. It's got about
It's so
18
close
pound.
to 1,000, eh?
Yeah.
You trying to get there? Just for the sake of saying I got 1,000?
Just for the sake of just saying I got 1,000, but it'll make 1,000. It's just, it makes 1,340 newton meters of torque.
Yeah.
So it's got plenty of torque.
Quarter mile we take?
No quarter mile, none of that. We do a lot of charity events.
Yeah.
We do a lot of things for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, City Children's Hospital, Ronald House, a lot of formals and weddings and school pickups.
So we noticed that you had the engine bay on display. Let's have a look. Tell us more details. So you got a block.
Yeah, so I got a centrifugal force side mount blower. So that's the V3 JT SI. So they're rated to 1,000 horsepower with themselves. They're done by Vortex Superchargers Adelaide.
Yeah.
Then I've got a Howard's built Howard's comp that make motors over in the States. So it's got a billet crank, Promac race pistons.
And how's it putting power down? What's the traction like?
When it gets traction, so I've got 12-inch rears with the 305 tyres on the back, and even with the 305s, it still doesn't like to go straight. But yeah, I got the Edelbrock twin throttle body manifold because my dream car is the Murcielago. So that reminds me.
Murcielago.
That reminds me of the Murcielago manifold.
Yep.
So
yeah, you got that.
So yeah, my dream car is a LP640 manual 6-speed.
Not many.
Not many, unicorns, but I can't fall on them just yet. So I'll stick with this.
So the brakes, you upgrade the brakes?
Yeah, so originally the brakes are 4-piston front and rear with 365mm rotors front and 350mm rotors at the back. Now I got the 6-piston with the 400mm rotor, and then put the front rear.
And then today we noticed you brought a mate down.
I brought my best mate with the red one. So weapon.
And how much power is that?
His makes 985.
Oh,
Yeah.
Pretty similar then.
Yeah, similar. So this is a 6.6 litre Harriet 2650 LSA on it.
Yeah.
And both of them are 6-speed manual. So.
And these have gone up in value quite a bit, haven't they?
Yeah, it's remarkable. Like over COVID, they went up ridiculous. But you know, I've had some offers over 120 grand for it, but I'm not interested.
Yeah.
It took me 3 years to build it, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, thanks for showing us your car.
No, that's all right, mate.
Seen you in many of the shows, and obviously talked at over Instagram.
Yeah. So.
So that's a wrap for VCC Winter Edition. Another spectacular day, big crowds this year. The weather's great. Look at the backdrop. We had some amazing cars. Oh yeah, the Porsche 959. It was good to learn a little bit about that. So yeah, that wraps up another episode of DBTV. If you're liking the content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave your comments. Which cars did you enjoy seeing today? All right, guys. See you on the next episode. Did you see the sign down the bottom?
No. Yeah.
Slow down, hole. Yeah. There must be one of the owners. Yeah. He said he was just like going. I was like, yeah.
They're just jealous.